blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. So last week we saw Swamiji's life history part 2. So we saw how he is, part 1 we saw his childhood, and part 2 we saw his moving in from his family life to our spiritual life. And we saw a lot of things till he started the ashram and all those stuffs last year. And today's class topic will be by Professor Muthu sir. Over to sir.
May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Good morning to every one of you. Nice to see you, see all of you after a week's gap. Actually, many people have asked me to talk about time management, which has been pending for a year actually with me. And last Friday, I think somebody again asked, so I thought that I have to maintain that time frame. I have to do the time management for it properly. So I thought I will discuss the time management this Friday itself. But these hours are for our sky subject. So I can't take any subject outside the Maharishi's philosophy. So we will spend 20 minutes or 25 minutes on another Maharishi's topic. What to avoid to attain our goal, to attain our objective. That was a topic given, I think. So we all want to achieve our goal in our life. It could be anything from personal, family, health, profession, career, finance, relationship. It could be anything, but whatever career, whatever goal, objectives we have, we all want to achieve. And if you see the statistics, 83% of the people, they have not crossed beyond pleasure and pain. Means they always live with problems. They may be happy for half an hour, but 2 hours they are unhappy. And then this goes on and off. You know, they are always struggling to live. 83%, you can say, below average group. And around 14% of the people, they live like us. They live a very reasonable life. They have no big disaster in their life, tragedy in their life, and money-wise they are perfectly fine. And though they may not get whatever they aimed for, but at least reasonably they are well settled. 13% group, and 3% of the group, they are living a great life. Whatever they want, they get it. And out of that, and 1% out of the 3%, like Maharishi, they sacrifice their life for the entire society, and Mahatma Gandhi. And they not only live when they live even after they become one with God, like Maharishi or Mahatma Gandhi, and we still think of them, right? And that is the real life, real living. So that is 1%. So now if you see one common factor among all these, what is the big difference between 83%, 14%, and the 3%? And one of the difference is this: the 83% people, they don't know what they want in their life. They decide. I am in a car, I go to the junction, then I decide I have to go straight or left or right or U-turn. Then I talk to somebody and find out, oh, which road is better. But if I know I have to go to Vakra, which direction I have to, I'm very clear. And 83% people, they don't have a clear goals in their mind or in a paper. Whereas 14% of the people, they have clear goals in their mind. They know what they want, but they don't tell. I want to be the first in the class. No, they don't tell, but they know. They know in their mind. And they are 10 times successful than that 83% of the group. Whereas that last 3%, they have clearly written goal. They tell, no, I will be the first in my school. Finish. And they will get first in the school because they are 30 times successful than the first group. So we all want to achieve our goal. So the starting point is, I have to have a written goal. Nothing wrong in writing it down. Don't show to others. But actually, if you ask me now, I started, if I want to achieve something, I tell everybody, no issue at all. Because my ego will not allow me to not to compromise of that. My ego will push me, drive me to achieve it. So I put more efforts, right? So you can, it depends. So we have to have a written goal, at least in the mind, if you want to be in that 14%. Maharishi wants us to be in that 1%. That is why he doesn't allow anybody to touch his feet, because the moment we touch his feet, we are lower than him. We don't want. He says, you have to go above me. That is his intention. That is his desire. That is his, compassion. So now, now assume that we all have goals, either in mind or in paper. So we are in that the second and third category, 17% category. Forget about 83%. We have goals, but we are not able to achieve our goal. Something is blocking it. Some people, one of my college friend, senior, he went to Bombay from Coimbatore to Bombay to attend a relative's wedding, and he was working in actually he was working in Bombay at that time. So he went to his relative's marriage, and at that time he saw the newspaper there when he was waiting in the wedding hall, when things are going on. And then he realized that there is a walk-in interview in one of the hotel in Bombay. He didn't see the paper earlier. On that day of marriage, he saw that, and it was the last day. So he decided, okay, immediately after the formalities, why not I try and go see the walk-in interview? Okay. The guy went there and he attended the interview, and he got the job in Qatar Petroleum. Actually, he got the job in PDO. It was 1992, and he got the job there. And right now he is working in QP here. Almost 23 years he has completed here. Right now, what effort he took? Because if somebody have done a great good deeds, punyam, right? With little effort, everything will fall in place. But if that punyams are less, and you do lot of effort, somebody have done after the college, MBA and computer software skills, communication program, whatnot. He has acquired 4 or 5 diploma courses, certification courses, and he is attending interviews, not even getting one job. And 1.5 years passed. Compared to what this guy put the effort, and this guy is putting maybe 10,000 times more effort, but no job. And he got a government job in Oman. Maybe 10 times salary than a private company, right? Why? So the goal, something is blocking him. He puts all his effort, and fortunately, after these Zoom sessions, where there are thousands of people without knowing what meditation is, they attended Zoom classes and they got the benefit. And a lot of people are messaging me saying that now I know what is my problem. I want to achieve this, but I'm not able to control my anger, or control my fear, or control my worries. But I want to learn meditation. When can I learn meditation? Now I know my problem. They know what is the problem through these all theoretical lectures, but they don't have the practical tools to do the meditation and to improve the willpower and to progress in their life. Whereas there are other set of people who have been masters, professors, and they still attend these Zoom classes, and they also communicate to me saying that I have been doing meditation, I have been doing silence, I have been introspecting, but still I am not able to control my sugar level. How many years? 20 years. Or it's a simple objective in the life. I want to control my sugar level, or I want to achieve this. They are not able to do. Or my husband is smoking. I want him to stop smoking. 30 years of married life, nothing happened, and this lady has been meditating for 20 years, and it has not happened. Where is the problem? They are blessing. Nothing is happening. So today's discussion is, what is the single thing I have to avoid, I must avoid, for my goals to be manifested? As simple as that, right? Maharishi has written a poem, and which I used to explain. Actually, the best part is what I'm going to explain now. I might have explained in some lecture, okay, somewhere. And when I was explaining in one of the Zoom session, I don't know which country, which place it is, and in the chat box, somebody asked a question in the chat box, which happened almost 2 months before, 2 or 3 months before, and the question is this. I explained the concept, what I am going to explain now. What is the single thing you must avoid for your goal to be manifested, right? After the explanation, that person, is a male, he asked me a chat privately that, sir, very good, where Maharishi has said it. Which poem? Always I refer poem. So he asked, which poem this concept is there? Then I replied him on that private reply saying that, I'm sorry, I have not seen any poem with respect to that. But this is what Maharishi has said, that I am sure. I don't know whether poem is there or any article is there. This is based on Maharishi's concept. I explained it. And I think 1 month before, every day, as soon as I get up, I used to take 3 glasses of water. When I take that 3 glasses of water, I don't take it in 2 minutes. I take it 15 minutes to take that 3 glasses of water. Slowly I take it. That 15 minutes, parallelly, I will read Maharishi's book. Always it is on my table where I sit. This is Maharishi's Jnana Kalanjam, right? And Maharishi has written around 2,300 poems in that. Everything, all poems are there. All the concepts of his is from the poem actually. The poem is a raw form, it is there. What Maharishi thought, it is in poem. Then the explanations are derived. So in that 15 minutes, I read poems. Every day I read those poems since last maybe 1 year or maybe 1.5 years, something like that. So I read a poem. Exactly the concept is there in the poem, which I didn't know earlier. So why I'm sharing it? If you can practice meditation, Turiyatit meditation every day continuously, you will come to know the truth. As simple as that. You don't need to know from any lectures like this, what I am talking or what some great scholars are talking or what even Maharishi was talking. Without hearing what Maharishi is talking about that particular subject, you will come to know without listening it. But if you can practice meditation, you are accessible to the divine consciousness. What you want, that will guide you. That is the power of meditation, beauty of meditation, right? When I realized that there is a poem which I explained it 2 months before, or even in Doha classes also I explained it. How come I missed this poem? Why I did not see this poem? Because I didn't read this poem book maybe 15 years. I recently started, right? So I'm going to share that poem to you, and then I will explain what it is. First, I will explain it, okay, and then I will go through the poem. It is in Tamil. Loosely, when meditation was going on, I just wrote it in a paper, that English translation. I will explain that as well. Okay. Now, I have given the same example many lectures. If my boss is telling, please, I need the report about this particular project in 6 hours. Sorry, in 1 hour. Okay, sir, no problem. I'll prepare the report. I go to my desk and I started preparing it. Then I found that, wow, to prepare this report or presentation, I need input from my finance guys. And then I need input from my project manager. I need input from my site guys. And without these 3 inputs, I can't complete my presentation. Now I called my accounts guy from my office, my desk, and my financial controller. I said, sorry, I am preparing a presentation. I need this information, right? What is the cash flow? What is the outstanding, and how much money we invested, and what is the cost, and how much, all that information. Oh my God, sorry. Now I have to work on, and it will take minimum half day to produce that figures to you. Okay, I call project manager. Now I know boss wanted in 1 hour, already half an hour is gone. I can definitely never complete in half an hour, which I knew it when the boss told me also. But I said, yes, no problem. Now I go to my boss after half an hour saying that, sorry, now I need input from this guy, that guy, and I am doing my job, but I need to key in those figures. Minimum it will take 6 hours, but I will try to complete it in 4 hours. Is that okay, sir? Okay, I have a board meeting, I have a call. Okay, sir. Yeah, okay, sir. I will try my best. Still, he has not agreed for 4 hours. And then I will try my best. And you know, it will take more than 4 hours, right? Now, how we are behaving with the boss? After all, it is a company. After all, he is a boss for 10 years or 20 years or 15 years. If I don't like, I can change the job. But still, how is my attitude with my boss? I don't oppose him. I don't reject him. I don't shout at him. I don't tell, are you a fool? How can I finish this report in 1 hour when I need input from accounts, projects, site guys, and all that? You are a manager. You don't know this. I never say it. Even I don't think it. So then what is happening here? I want the relationship with my boss very good. Then only if I need leave, when I need it, he will sanction me. Otherwise, no, there is a project meeting, you finish it and then go. Sorry, gone. When I wanted, I can't go only. This is the result of consequence of that, the relationship if it is bad, right? So we maintain great relationship with the colleagues, with the bosses and everybody. Think of the big boss, the God, who is executing everything, who is creating everything, who is destroying. If he wants, everything is under his one button, right? In fact, he doesn't have a button. It is an automatic mode. Everything happens automatically according to the law of karma. Now, if that big boss, if I don't maintain the same, not same, actually, it has to be a better relationship with the God, how he will allow me to manifest my goal, my objective? I'm sure he will not like it. Boss will not grant me leave when I wanted. Super God, the super boss, or big boss also will not allow me to achieve what I want in my life. If I can achieve what I want in my life, I am almost equal to God. So how he will allow if I am not qualified, eligible for that to happen? So what is the single most important thing which can block in my efforts or attempts to achieve my goal? The relationship between me and my boss. The relationship between me and my boss. What Maharishi says, acceptance. What God has given me, if I don't happily accept it, the great energy, the divine energy, the infinite energy is trying to come to me to help me, but I put a big metal gate. No, don't come, God, go away. Why? Because I'm fighting with you. I am shouting my wife, don't you have sense? You are doing like this. I am shouting my boss or shouting my colleague or my servant, or I am fighting, I am arguing, I am opposing, I am rejecting, I am getting angry, I get irritation, I get confused, all sort of negative things, whatever I do, starting from complying, worries, fear, everything is against the super boss who is executing everything according to my karma. How God will be happy, how divine energy will flow to me. The divine energy, the gateway is Turiyam. The moment I do meditation, the gate is open. The gate is open, divine energy will flow inside me. If the divine energy can flow inside me, already divine is there. That is getting opened. Now what I will know, my consciousness will be enlightened. Now I know what I should do to achieve my objective. If the gate is not open, it will not. When the gate is closed, not a normal wood gate, metal gate. When metal gate is prepared, how many times you get angry, how many times you get upset, how many times you oppose people, you reject people, you criticize people, you complain people, you are fearing, you are afraid of something. All those are, you are adding gate by gate, one, two, three, four, thousands of gates we have between me and God. All those objections. Unless I remove all those objections, unless I accept happily what God has been giving to me, energy will not flow to me. That is the single most thing which blocks us in achieving our objective. Now, why that is happening? Maharishi has beautifully given expectation. The expectation leads to finding fault. Reason for unhappiness, reason for getting angry, reason for shouting back. All reasons comes out of my expectation. Expectation brings disappointment. Disappointment, every disappointment is a gate, metal gate. You are putting in between you and God, between me and God. Every disappointment. If I am upset with the climate, I am putting a gate there. Simple. I have been talking to some people. Not me, okay, some friend called one person, and the person like that couple of times he did, and that person told, hey, so what happened to you, friend? Why are you coughing? What happened? Oh, no, you know, the climate change. No, maybe a climax. Don't think climate, it's a climax. Check corona. That fellow cut the phone. Now this fellow started, stupid fellow, morning call, and he wants me to go to deathbed. Stupid guy, why he tells like that? Finished. Now I put 2 gates. Really, according to God's wish, this guy has commented like that. I have to happily accept that flow. You think what I am doing, it finished. Whether just because he told I have climax? No. Who is he to decide? If I have that clarity, if I have that willpower, God is guiding me. But the moment I object that fellow, why this fellow is telling like it, finished. I have a gate now. Now I can't even think properly. That is why I will get now all worst ideas. For what? After that fellow said, now I will not talk to you. Oh, maybe computer screen may radiate not only infrared, corona also can come. Oh my God, no, 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 no. Let me not do it. No way. I went to, there are many people who are asking, how you decided to go to India in this corona time, that time, this time, and you come back safely? I don't know. This is, we have to be very, very clear. We have to accept whatever it is coming. Just because the expectation is the worst thing which blocks us from getting achieved, our objective achieved. So that expectation results in disappointment. You do all sort of negative emotions out of expectation. God knows when to give, what to give, how to give, through whom you have to give. Is he a fool actually to ask or to demand? No, we have every right to do our actions, every right to choose our actions. We have no authority to decide the result of it. He has. And he also doesn't have control. What he ensures is, according to action, result is given. As simple as that. Actually, he is like a rubber stamp. That's it. For actions done, result is given. As simple as that. Like a hero, he can't give me 1 real more. Or like a villain, he can't take 1 real what I deserve for. No way it is going to happen. Why I should expect it? In Tamil, there is a proverb. Yam irukka bayame. In the means, why to be afraid when I am here? Who is here? When my actions are here, why I have to be afraid? I have done good action, good things will happen. Very simple. If at all bad has to happen, then only my karma will go. I can enjoy bliss. I can become one way. Then I can be a self-realized person. So let it come. No issue at all. Then only I am progressing in my life. If no problem comes, I am struck. Maybe the return ticket date is written now. If I don't have a problem, I have to have a problem. So the date is not written in my return ticket to go there. So no, nothing to worry about. The problem, challenges, difficulties, diseases. No, let it come. Come. No problem. You don't invite, but accept. So that is the single most important thing which can block every one of us in achieving our goals. The goal can be anything. Sugar control to 1 crore house construction. It could be anything. So all that we have to remember that. Now let's go to the song. Anyway, those definitely most of you cannot read Tamil, so forget about that song. And now I'm going to translate the. I have translated the song. I will tell you now. The first line I will tell you. It says, expectation, disappointment, if avoided. If you can avoid the expectation, so the disappointment. So expectation, disappointment, if avoided, our natural inherent energy gets empowered positively, without opposition, without blockage. That is the first 3 lines. What it says, expectation, disappointment, if avoided, our inherent energy gets empowered. Elichi petru. What do you mean by gets empowered? Elichi petru. Whatever energy I have so far, I have been doing my work, starting from brushing my teeth, doing a project work at site, whatever work I have been doing, I have some degree of energy level. Morning, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, my energy level is low, right? Whatever level it be. Now, it gets empowered, energy gets empowered, inherent energy gets empowered. Now I will be able to do my job with more dynamism, more enthusiasm. That means my energy gets empowered. I will be able to complete the job, 1 hour job in 45 minutes, 5 hours job in 3 hours, more productively, more efficiently, more effectively. So the first point is your energy gets empowered when, if you avoid expectation and disappointment, number 1. Number 2, energy gets empowered. How? Positively. What is there in Tamil? It is written Akkam. Sorry, I am not able to read the Tamil poem here. Akkavaliyil. So positively, what do you mean by positively? My energy is utilized. Means I don't waste with stupid WhatsApp for 2 hours per day. Is it giving my salary? Is it increasing my willpower, or is it increasing or helping me to achieve my goal, or is it providing my retirement fund, or is it improving my relationship between me and my wife or my friend or my boss or anyone? Stupid thing for me. Why I have to spend 4 hours there per day, 2 hours per there? What we should do, when I need it, I will use it. That's it. That is not driving me. I am driving it. I am controlling it. That is not controlling me. People are taking to washroom, bathroom, everywhere in the dining room. When family is taking dinner, this is the one being used by everyone, rather than communicating, talking, sharing, caring, missing. So what he says, positively my energy gets empowered and being utilized. So I will not do anything which is not going to help my goal, objective. Very powerful statement, right? Anything I will not do which can block my objective. All the things which helps to achieve my goal, I will do it. Positively, right? So expectation, disappointment, if avoided, my inherent energy gets empowered positively. Next is without opposition. What do you mean by without opposition? Edirpu indri. That means I want to do meditation. Why you do meditation? What is the use? You are getting angry as same as the 2 years before also. You waste your time in meditation. You waste your time in going for some meditation sky classes. Useless. This is opposition. Or you want to do exercise? She will come. No, come. Please cut onion. I have to make now today this vegetable. 2 guests are coming. Cut vegetable. Exercise tomorrow, please. This is opposition. Opposition means what you want to do, they are blocking. You want to buy a house. No, that place is not good. Why you want to buy a house here or this house there? You want a computer. No. Why you want computer now? Opposition, right? So without opposition. And then another word used, tadayindri, without blockage. What do you mean by block? Now this is the block. You want to go for a meditation class. He will make sure when the meditation class started in Zoom, he will come with some job for you. He will hinder you. He will block you, whatever you want to do with those objectives, because if he doesn't like, simply you want to have a coffee. He will give 1,000 reasons for not giving a coffee to you. He will block. You want to study some course. No. Why you want to go this course? You are not able to fix my bathroom problem for 6 months. It has been leaking. And you want to learn. What is the use of learning? You will put all the blockage there, right? So without blockage, without opposition. So he used, your inherent energy gets empowered. Now energy is increased. Great benefit, right? Now I can do more. I can do miracles. More and more I can do. Anything I do, even if I make sambar, there is a room for improvement. The best sambar I will be able to make, right? I give a speech, the best speech, but still there is a room for improvement. Now if I do this, more and more will come. How I speak 6 months before, better. After 6 months, it will be much more better. That is what this says. The poem says, right? So gets empowered positively. That means I don't do useless things. But that doesn't mean I don't watch movies. Or by doing like WhatsApp. No, there is a limit and method. In the next lecture, you will understand more clearly. Without opposition, without blockage, all these things. Then he says, all your actions will be perfect in order. What that means? You make the best coffee, best sambar. Anything you do, it will be best. Then he says, in future, in all fields of life, you get more energy, smiling face, great social support. So what he says, in all fields of life, not only spiritual, because you meditate and you avoid expectation. So only the progress will be in spiritual field. Not at all. The word he uses is Valkai Thurai Anaithilum. In every walks of life, you will be more energetic. and always with a smiling face, and always you get great support from people around you. Everybody is waiting to support you. Everybody is waiting to help you. What a great support. I want to buy something or I want to fix a leakage there. There are 10 people waiting to come here to fix it immediately. What a great support. Blissful life. But now you have to struggle to find a plumber, and that plumber comes, he breaks another one when he tried to fix another one. What a great tragedy there then. So he says, you get more energetic, you get all the, in all walks of life, smiling face, great social support. If you can cross the poverty of mind, poverty of your intelligence, Maharishi says for all the problems, there is no poverty of money or poverty of land or poverty of water or poverty of nothing. Poverty of intellect, intelligence is the biggest problem. That is why Temple of Consciousness, he named it as Temple of Consciousness, not like meditation center or anything. Temple of Consciousness. The consciousness is to be enlightened. It has to be improved day by day. So that is the poverty of intellect is the biggest problem today. So he says, you, by crossing the poverty of mind, you get all the best in every walks of life. It means all the best with a full contentment. You will get it in your life. That is what this poem says. So what we need to do is reduce the expectation as much as possible. Is that possible to remove 100% expectation? Absolutely, it is possible. 100% it is possible. But I am also still in the ladder. I'm not saying I have, no, not at all. But what I feel is you can reach that stage up to 90% so fast. That 90 to 10% means, it says, see, Maharishi has used the two words, not only expectation, disappointment as well. You don't expect, but things can disappoint you as well. I didn't expect that there could be a traffic jam, but traffic jam can come and make you disappointed, right? So Maharishi used both. Normally, expectation will result in disappointment, but without expectation also disappointment can come, right? So both expectation I can manage is okay, but disappointment momentarily, sometimes I still feel, yes, disappointed. So I need to also improve, work on it, right? But if we can avoid both totally, all these things will come in our place. So that is the secret of achieving our goal. Otherwise, it can block us. And if you have any questions, we can go for any questions, or I will go to the next topic. What is it time now? Okay, we have time. So what we will do, we will go to the next topic, time management, and then we will have a question answer session. Kumaresan sir, is okay?
Okay, sir, we have time, no problem.
Okay, fine, great. So now, time management. Yeah, many one common question also I get, how you manage your time. And I heard a voice message in maybe 1.5 months back, 2 months back, from one of the lady in Qatar who used to attend our regular Sky classes in Tamil for the last 1 year, 1 year. And she asked me a couple of questions in that voice message. I have been attending all your lectures, all your classes, perfect, excellent. I myself, I am trying to change. My question is this: really, your wife is happy with you? Really, are you helping your wife? Really, like this, there were around 5-6 questions. It is purely between myself and my wife, that relationship, right? And she also said, maybe I am too personal. I'm so sorry to ask you, but I wanted to know, because she wanted to know whether it is possible. Few things are possible or not possible, right? Or it's only a theoretical. There is a difference between teacher. Okay, I can talk by reading a book as well, by hearing a lecture as well, or I can talk after experiencing it, the after applying it and realizing it also I can talk, right? So she wanted to know. It is a great question, and if she knows the answer, that can change, make a big impact, right? So then when I hear that audio, okay, 5-6 questions are there, and immediately I replied, I have forwarded your audio message to my wife. The best is she replies to you, not me, because I can tell yes, yes, yes to all that better she replies it, right? So I sent her, I'm sure she replied, oh, okay, sir. But she's in India, I am in Qatar. Wait until she comes back. I said, fine. So I think next day she replied back. I forwarded to the reply. And whatever said, it was a positive response she gave it. Now, why I'm saying here, the time management, how you manage the time between your office, your personal, and your family, and sky. How you are able to do all that is a common question, because we find it difficult. Even I found it very difficult. Even now also, I find it difficult, because we went to a park in Alcor yesterday. We came at 11:45 night with our five family friends. We went there. Yeah, it can happen. So how to manage time, right? So again, as I said in the first lecture, I never knew what concept I'm going to share with you, the time management concept. There are maybe 50,000 books about time management, maybe 10,000 audios in YouTube about time management. Plenty of people, plenty of lectures are there. All those time management techniques are useless to me unless I have the foundation strong. That foundation is very, very important. As a Vedatriyan, I can think of that as a foundation. I am following Vedatriyam, so I am a Vedatriyan student. Being a Vedatriyan student, I know what is that foundation. If that foundation is weak, any technique I learn, not only time management, anything you take, that technique may not give me 100% benefit to me. Maybe 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%, but need not be 100% benefit to me. Now, what is that foundation, I think? That is the first lecture in any introspection, not in the introspection level 1 course. Maharishi starts with the very basic in the first chapter. What is the chapters? What is that? You have to start with the end in your mind. If I have to, I can't go to a car and go to a junction, then decide I have to take left, right, or straight, or take a U-turn. No, I don't know. Unless I know I have to go to Vakra, how can I take car? How can I go in a car on a road? I have to start with the end in my mind. So Maharishi says, what are my goals? What is the objective of my life? What are the things I want to achieve in my life? Unless my goal is clear, time management techniques will not help me. If my goal is clear, I don't need any time management techniques. The goal itself will tell me when I should do this. If I know that I have to give a speech tomorrow, I will find a time to prepare for the speech. In fact, today I couldn't do meditation. I did 3 exercises: Makarasana, breathing exercise, Kaya Kalpa, only 3. I got up at 4 o'clock. 4 to 6, I prepared. And then 6 o'clock, I went for exercise and this, and a short 5 minutes meditation. And then I'm ready for the session. Now, you will find time if the goal is clear. Not only clear, strongly. Everybody has a goal that I want to reduce my weight. Most of it, not everybody, most of it. I always take that example because it is not at all applicable for me. So I can, otherwise if I give another example, that thing should not happen, right? Because I think my weight will not reduce below, okay, fine. I can't tell that as well, because when my wife was away, I had only 2 meals a day. I started following 2 meals a day from that Zoom period, and I reduced to 2 kg weight. Now I'm trying to gain back actually. So that example also not good. Okay, fine. Now everybody most of the people wanted to reduce the weight, but in front of meals, they forget the goal. After eating, my God, I think I should not have taken 3 chapatis extra. Now I feel a little bit heavy. I'm sure this is not nice. But in front of meals, they forget. After the meal, they remember very well, and they keep telling 10 times, I should have avoided it. I don't know why I ate this 7 chapatis. I should have stopped it with 4, whatever it is. So they have a goal, but not a strong, powerful goal. It is there in the surface level, conscious mind. In the subconscious mind, not very strong, right? If my goal is very strong and short, clear, then definitely they will find time to achieve that. So The foundation is goal. Our ultimate goal is self-realization or divine realization or mukti, moksha, liberation, enlightenment of consciousness, all that divine realization. That is ultimate goal. In order to achieve that divine realization, I have to travel. I have a journey in my life. The journey to be comfortable. To make the journey comfortable, I need money, wealth, health, everything I needed. For that, I need a goal personally, financially, career-wise, relationship-wise, money-wise. All that goals are important, right? So unless I have that goal, very clear goal, it is not going to help me at all.